What's China getting wrong? First, debt. Massive amounts of sovereign and, even more importantly, corporate debt. The Chinese economy is driven by state-owned enterprises, these huge, lumbering, incredibly inefficient organizations that are piling and piling on debt while the Chinese government refuses to bankrupt them. It's helpful in that you can continue to employ lots of inefficient labor. It's problematic in that eventually you have to pay these bills or the economy starts to really slow. At some point, the potential for a harder landing of the Chinese economy becomes a bigger and bigger risk. Number two, the Chinese government owns all the downside. When you're responsible for how the economy does as the public sector, when things go wrong, it's all your fault. In the United States, if there's an environmental problem, we usually blame the company that's doing the chemical dumping. In the Chinese case, whether it's lack of arability of land, or it's problematic water supply, or you can't breathe the air, you're not blaming the private sector, you're blaming the Chinese government. That's true on cyber, too. If someone attacks a United States corporation and your data suddenly goes missing or stolen, you're going to blame that company. Equifax, Yahoo. In China, you blame the Chinese government. These risks are increasingly on Beijing and their leadership and not on the private sector. And the third thing China's getting wrong is international trade. As much as Xi Jinping, the president, wants to stand up and say, we're in favor of free trade, what China really wants is just a quiet global environment so they can continue to work on trying to become the world's next superpower. President Trump is saying no mas, or the China equivalent, as he's slapping tariffs on China, also restricting technology investments and buys, and generally making life harder for the Chinese. The Chinese assumed that at least the Europeans would be supportive of them and not wanting to see a Trump-led trade war. The Europeans are also tightening their trade relations with the Chinese. Everyone seems to have a problem with Beijing on trade right now among the advanced industrial economies. That's a big emerging risk that the Chinese president wants absolutely no part of.